Hello, everybody. Welcome back to One Thing at a Time. How you doing, Hailey?
I'm doing very well. How about you, Olivia?
I'm doing good. I'm just tired.
I'm tired too. You're not sick anymore, are you?
No,
COVID girl.
I've been clean for about 2 weeks.
Okay, well, it might linger still, so
No.
yeah.
Have you seen that it's like reemerging in people?
Yeah, okay. Hashtag conspiracy, but okay. Hashtag conspiracy. Um,
Hashtag Alex Jones.
hash, hashtag I absolutely cannot stand Andrew Tate. Don't bring him up. Don't talk to me about him. Don't mention his name because I literally can see the red coming out of my.
We won't talk about Andrew Tate. I also don't really quite understand, but I'm not gonna I don't even know really who that is, but I just know I don't like him.
Wait, you haven't seen his videos on TikTok?
No.
Girly, oh my god, just literally people that are listening to this probably know who he is. Don't look him up. Don't give him the clout or the views. He's literally just the most misogynistic, egotistical man that he's not even a man, he's a child. I hate him. Anyways, you can keep this part in because I cannot. Anywho, today
We're starting
today
off being very hateful.
I woke up today and chose chaos and violence. That's everything.
um, so how's your week been, little bestie? We like to do these little Sunday recaps.
I moved into my new place. It's quite comfy, quite cozy. Went to the Morgan Wallen concert. It was so much fun. I did a session at Driftwood Beach in Jekyll Island. It was beautiful. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I want to live there now. And yeah, today was a good day, and this week's been a good week. What about you?
First of all, you're not allowed to move that far because you already live far enough away. So, I really didn't do all that much. Well, oh, that's so true. I had a wedding yesterday, um, in Chattanooga, and I forget how far Chattanooga is, but it's so far, and I was so bored driving there. Like, I was like, OMG. Because normally I listen to podcasts, but I didn't have anything to listen to. So I was just kind of listening to my one. What?
What about
What?
ours? What about ours? You can listen to it.
I already listened to our podcasts when it comes out.
I literally
Um,
my voice, so I just like listen to. I just turn it down.
I love my voice.
Yeah, that makes one of us. I literally
Is
can't.
that does that mean that you're a narcissist if you like listening to yourself talk?
No comment. You're not a narcissist, but I guess people that like love themselves or that are full of themselves, I feel like have a tendency to like love like recording themselves. Like I feel like a lot of narcissists love TikTok. Like they love filming themselves.
Okay, but were you ever that type of person that would record themselves to see if they could sing?
No comment. I hate you. Don't ever bring that up.
No, because I'm only bringing it up because that was me.
That was me.
I would also like kind of like sing in like the grocery store.
Just to see if anyone would comment on how amazing it was. Like,
Yes.
yeah, huh? That's my sister. She's so bad.
Be like, be looking like side to side and be like, did anyone hear that?
Tuck your hair behind your ear, just like, yeah,
Because at that time, like Hannah Montana was pretty popular.
across the world. Yeah,
And I just
that is
wanted to be
exactly where I was going with that. That
I
is
just
exactly, yep.
I just wanted to be discovered.
I just want people to notice me.
It's fine. We're just
Um, it's okay. You're still a directioner, at heart, the one girl directioner.
yeah, so true. That's what I was gonna say. I was listening to my One Direction playlist in my car and just living life to the fullest.
That's
So,
literally cute. So I probably should say that today we're talking about. We told you guys last week, but we're doing what to expect on wedding days. We're gonna go into depth about like a timeline that I've created for actually a person's wedding. and we're gonna just dissect it. So like this is for brides or photographers. Kind of everyone can take it away, or someone that's just genuinely curious about how wedding days work. We're gonna give you all the tips, all the tricks, everything that you could possibly think of in this episode pertaining to timeline, what to expect on a wedding day. So yeah.
Sweet. So are you ready to dive in? Take this one thing at a time.
I like
Wink.
that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I
Wink.
think we should. I think that a typical timeline, I would say, is probably depending on like if it's daylight savings or not, would be like 12 to 8 for 8 hours of coverage. But every timeline's different based on like what time your ceremony is. So I would honestly, let's see what we can start with. Getting ready. Tell everyone to get up pretty early, especially if you have like an earlier ceremony time, like 3 or 4 o'clock. Sometimes, if it's later on in the day, you don't have to get up at like the butt crack of dawn to start getting ready. But don't be a child. Don't giggle that I said butt crack.
I'm sorry. Anyways, continue.
Saw your face and I saw you saw that, and I was like, "Oh, I'm about to laugh." I don't even know where I was going with that. Um, what's it called? Okay, sorry. Ooh, 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 mwah, mwah,
we
mwah.
we haven't been able to get our sillies out. It's just been like full on like serious mode for the past couple of weeks. So we need a
Um, okay, let's see. Um, basically everyone needs to get up pretty early. You don't want to be rushing, and I feel like brides that are like, "Oh yeah, we can get ready in 2 hours. There's 6 of us. Like we can do that." I'm like, "Ooh, no. Let's not do that. Please. Please. For your sanity, for my sanity, for your parents' sanity, for everybody's sanity, because it's just you want ample time. You want to be able to get in your robe, you want to be able to drink, you want to be able to like munch on some snacks, which another tip is please eat the day of your wedding, please. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's healthy or not. Please just eat something. We don't need any brides out there passing out because they are so hungry and they just forgot to eat, or like getting just blackout drunk way too fast because they just don't have anything on their stomach. But so I guess our first tip would be make sure you plan plenty of time depending on the amount of bridesmaids that you have. I would say for like between 6 and 8 bridesmaids, you probably need like 4 hours to comfortably get ready. Um so whatever time you let's say you do have coverage from 12 to 8. What is 12 minus 4?
Hailey, you're asking the wrong person.
8. Okay. So I would tell your 8
Why
a.m.
did we not know that?
I don't know. 8 a.m. Okay. You need to tell your hair and makeup people to come like no later than 8:30 to start getting ready for everybody. And then you guys need to be like full on glam with hair and makeup by 12 so that the time or the second your photographer gets there, they can go ahead and start getting ready pictures. So yeah. Olivia is the queen at taking details, so she can give you more details about the details.
That's so clever. So I just want to go ahead and say that you need to tell your bride and your groom what they need to bring for their details. I always provide my couples with like a checklist, a detailed checklist. I call it a shoebox. Pack your detail shoebox because you can literally fit everything in like a shoebox. So and it'll just keep everything in place. And so whenever you need it, you can just put it back in the shoebox and it doesn't get lost. So that's just one of my tips that I would say. Just tell your bride and groom, if you're a photographer, to pack a detailed shoebox and tell them exactly what they need. Some things that you may need: invitations, the shoes, a watch. If you wrote notes to each other, what?
Cologne.
Cologne, bow tie, handkerchief, jewelry, earrings, just like anything special, something new, something blue, something old, something borrowed. Um, obviously your wedding dress, but duh, which I mean, sometimes people forget their wedding dresses. Ooh.
Yeah, some or veils. I was gonna say veil needs to stay with wedding dress, but, like, your veil, obviously, your wedding shoes if you have a pair that you're gonna change into, if you wanna use the groom's shoes, anything sentimental, literally. Even if you, like, Google, like, wedding details checklist, they have, like, even things that we're not mentioning right now, but it's just, like, a whole compilation of all the things that you're wanting in those detail photos that you can remember, even if you're not gonna think about it the day of. Like, you can look back on it and just be like, "Oh, yeah, this is what our stuff looked like. We can just hang it up in the house." But I like to deliver, like, quite a few details. Olivia usually does mine because she's the queen at flat lays, which flat lays is just a fancy term for flat laying all of your details and taking a picture of them.
Right. I would also like look up like if you're a photographer, the best thing that I ever did was look up flat lays on Pinterest. Pinterest is going to be your best friend. And I would just try to not copy, but try and get inspiration from, because that was the best thing I ever did, and I just kind of like memorized some of them, because you're not always going to have everything, that you need. Sometimes things happen, you forget invitations. You just have to know how to improvise with what you have. And so Pinterest is your best friend for that kind of stuff. And I will say, when you're planning to do details, you are going to need more time than you actually think. Um you're gonna need probably about 20 minutes, maybe 30 if you're newer in photography, just so that you have enough time to actually like fully like set it up and take the pictures. And it takes longer than you think. And I think people underestimate how long it takes, because sometimes you just have creative block, and then it just, takes a little bit longer. But that's my tips for details.
Faux show, faux show. I'm trying to think. So typically, after details, like flat lay details and taking pictures of the dress and taking pictures of the veils and the shoes and the flowers, um, I like to do like just a few of like most brides do robes or pajamas or something like that. I typically just take a few just because there's not too many things that you can do with getting ready photos like that. And then I have the bride hop into her dress and we go and take the amazing pictures with mom, pictures with any sentimental person that you're wanting, and kind of just get you in your dress, get you all ready in your feels, last minute, like makeup touches, hair touches. Some brides like to do a first look with their bridesmaids, but it's not like every single time. But if you do want a first look, then you just talk to your photographer or about putting it in the timeline. But it doesn't take too long. You have to make sure that all the bridesmaids are not like peeking in. But
Right, it's actually kind of going out of trend, I've noticed. Um, a lot of the weddings that I've been to recently, they haven't done it. So I'll be surprised if that is still a trend here in 2023, but
yeah,
it's a cute trend. I like it. I think
yeah,
it's
I
really
think
cute.
that I don't know if I'll do it. I think that we'll just pop to play it by ear. I kinda want maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
I mean,
I'm
I've
trying to
already
think.
seen your dress, so it's not like
Well,
it's
not
gonna be a
everyone's seen it in
surprise.
person, it gives you a different feel. But,
Whatever.
I'm trying to think what's next. Oh, bridesmaids photos. I think that I don't know how different photographers do it, but I like to do bridal portraits and bridesmaids photos right after the bride and the bridesmaids get ready. Typically, I have the bridesmaids go ahead and get all up in their dresses, their shoes, their um typically I have them hold off for perfume because usually there's mosquitoes outside, at least here in Georgia. So I have them put on like some bug spray so they're not getting bitten the whole time and they're like red rashes all over them. Um, but tell them to leave their phones and we go outside and we take pictures. But I just find it the easiest to do the girls first, just so not everyone's like seeing her or the bride before the ceremony. everyone can see the guys before, but it's kind of like taboo to see the bride before. So I like to do the brides and the bridal portraits and the bridesmaids photos right after we do getting ready.
Can I just give a little piece of advice just really
Yeah.
quick that I remembered? Um, so with the getting ready photos and everything, I just wanna say that please take your bras off.
Oh yeah.
Do not even put one on that
Yes.
night. Do not put one on that night, it's gonna leave a mark, and please take your Apple Watches off. I unless you and hair ties, unless you got special permission from the bride, please take your Apple Watches off. Thank you,
Yeah.
that is all.
That is such a good tip. That one time I told my bride, like, "Hey, don't have anyone wear bras." And I got there the day of, and they were all so confused. They're like, "Why did you, like, not want us wearing bras?" I was like, "So there's no marks."
So you
And
can
they
look
were
at your boobies.
I was like, I promise it's literally so there's no marks, like, it's not for any weird motive." And then it obviously, like, it all clicked and they're like, "Oh, but there has been bridesmaids where I've told or brides that I've told, and their bridesmaids, like, don't listen, they have, like, open backs, and you can see it for hours in some of the photos too." And, like, there's only so much that photographers can do in Photoshop, so it's, like, just an eyesore, please don't. Just take your bra off.
Well, that's kinda why for your wedding, like, that's why I didn't get an open back and, like, I got, like, a pretty it's also gonna be, like, probably cold.
In
So I was like
March?
that y you're it's kinda like, give or take in March, like, you don't know. So
That's
I
a
kinda
swing.
just wanted yeah, I just kinda wanted to be safe with that. So that's why I didn't get an open back and I got, like, a you know, you've seen it.
Yeah, it's really cute, I love it, I'd wear it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I would too, probably, maybe.
Or maybe we can, like, go to a fancy dinner for, like, 21st and, like, wear it cute. I
So
like
true. Maybe I can get engaged in it.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I'm so excited for when you get engaged. I'm gonna literally cry, actually.
I
Okay.
literally cr I literally cried real tears when you got engaged because I knew it was happening and no one
That
else
was
did.
so much fun. I literally was so shocked. Lord, I'll have to tell that story on the pod, but I was literally in shock. It's just
Yeah,
because
it
he
was
didn't let me
great.
get it that threw me off.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it was. I agree. Um, let's see. What's after? Okay, so we do bridesmaids photos, we do bridal portraits. And then sometimes people do first look with their father or first look with groomsmen or like just random first looks that you kind of want pictures of and that are they're special. People have done them with their brothers, siblings.
I would
But
say whoever's walking you down the aisle, people probably,
mm,
want to have a first look with because not all the time that the dad walks down the aisle, so
yeah, for sure. That's a good point. And then typically after we do like first looks with all of the like important people with the bride, I go ahead and hide the bride so we can boom get her an air conditioning because usually it's hot. Like I would say like it's most of the time wedding season, it's warm outside. Like it's hot. But it's like later on in the day it gets cooler. But
mhm.
hide the bride so we can go ahead and do groomsmen photos and groomsmen portraits. I literally love groomsmen photos. They're so much fun.
They are. They're probably, it depends on what kind of crowd you have, though, 'cause we've dealt with some that aren't, go-getters, but most of the time they are, and they're playful and they're fun.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's always just, kind of like that breather moment where you're like, "Oh, okay, it's just the boys," you know? And
Mhm.
they like to do fun things, so
They do. They always love to do fun things. Um After like I mean, I don't know if there's any like necessarily like tips for groomsmen photos. Um if
thumbs out in pockets is the only one I can think of.
yes, that is like yes.
Do we wanna expose our secrets?
Nuts to butt people, nuts to butt. Bush to butt, nuts to butt.
And you probably, You're probably like, "Oh, that's so vulgar," but it gets them laughing, and that is, like, the one thing I look forward to on wedding days is saying that, 'cause it, like, literally lightens up the mood, like, it's so
I've
fun.
never had anyone not laugh, and, like, it's not even necessarily just to be funny, but people don't get close because, I don't know, and I'm like, "Just scooch in," and then to get their attention, nuts to butt, and then boom, and then for girls, it's bush to butt, and then bush to bush, so, like, their bouquets need to be, right where their bush is, so bush to bush, if you, like, didn't pick up on that, and then, like, bush to butt because they just need to turn in a little bit, and it's a fun little trick that we have.
Back to crack is a really good one.
Oh, I we're totally using that. I love that. Back to crack. Yes. Yes. That's
Most of the time the girls don't really have an issue getting so close, it's just the guys.
yeah, they're, like, scared of each other. I'm like, "They're not literally not gonna bite you. Like, you can literally chill out."
They're not gonna bite, but I might, so get close.
Yes.
Nuts to butt. Yeah, that's our
Uh,
little secret, feel free to use that. I mean, we probably should trademark it, we probably should, like, put it on a shirt, but
100%. Nuts to butt. People would be so confused all the time.
that should be our merch line.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like a sub from, like, One Thing at a Time, like,
Yeah.
nuts to butt and bush to butt. First look is what we have next on a typical timeline after groomsmen portraits, just because we get the groom all situated and then we bring the bride out. Um, there's so many tips for first look. I guess, like, I'm gonna touch on this and then Olivia can kinda take over, but I think that if you want to do a first look, do it because you want to, not because you're pressured into it. It's yes, it's like way more efficient for a timeline. Yes, you'll get amazing pictures, but you'll still get amazing pictures if you do a traditional timeline where you walk down the aisle and that's the first time. So I don't want anyone to feel pressured or anyone to feel like they have to in order to get good photos or in order to make anyone happy because at the end of the day, like it's your wedding that you're gonna have to look back on, like, nobody else is gonna care when it really does come down to it.
Right. I've never, like, tried to force my couples to do first looks because if they don't wanna do it, like, that's just not my place to be like, "Oh, you have to."
Mhm.
Obviously, like, if you are on the fence about it, I'll talk to you about it and go through the pros and cons because there are pros and cons to everything. But the one con that I hear, and I just wanna kinda debunk really quick, is that it'll ruin the moment of down the aisle, and that's not true. Um, I've had plenty of weddings where they do the first look and it's just as emotional as the aisle, and, people show their emotions differently, and so I feel like when you're walking down the aisle, it may just feel a little bit more real and take away some of the nerves of, the aisle moment. But the first look, I think, is just very, intimate, and personally, if I were to have a wedding, I would do one because I think
Period.
it's just, like, less nerve-wracking, I don't know.
Yes, 100%. Like, if plus, like, I don't know, there's sometimes a lot of factors that kind of are in the way during the ceremony for getting, like, pictures. I mean, obviously, if you only have one photographer, you can either only get one reaction, not both. There's no way that you can get both if you're one photographer.
Have a
But
second shooter.
yeah, always have a second shooter. But I don't know, even sometimes, like, people might be in the way, you might be obstructing the view of, like, other people, like, not saying that I've this has ever happened, I'm just saying there's a lot of possibilities, like, there could potentially be rain or, I don't know, people have tripped down the aisle and it kinda is like there's just a lot of factors that you you can kind of control more things during a first look and it's a lot more intimate, whereas, like, down the aisle is, like, we can literally make an episode of, like, pros and cons to a first look because there's so many, like, we would be here all day.
Yeah, and, um well, I do think, like, the one thing that holds everybody back from doing a first look is that they don't wanna ruin the moment, but I also feel like people don't also wanna do first looks because of the conspiracy theories with weddings, and I think we should just throw those out the window because those are old folklores that don't even
Yeah,
they don't matter.
I
Like,
agree.
honestly. Like, I'm not one, I'm pretty superstitious, but not with weddings because it's just not there's no reason. It's your
Yeah,
day, and I don't think that determines your love, like, that's dumb.
I agree, like, 100%. Like, we're literally gonna I put it in our notes to do pros and cons for first look or, like, the difference or which one's the best fit for you because there's so many things. But some things to remember, I guess, for first look is have fun. And it's okay to kiss or establish if you're going to kiss before. So y'all aren't awkwardly like, nah, oh yeah, we can't kiss, never mind. Like, if you're gonna kiss, do it 100%. I say kiss because it just like honestly, it's just so sweet and like you just want to kiss the person that you're about to marry. So I'm like for kissing, but I know a lot of people are like very superstitious when it comes down to that. Honestly, we
Yeah.
could do a whole episode on like wedding superstitions because I think that they're so fun.
There's so many that I didn't even know of, like, the one that I recently found out about is the spider in the dress, and that one's just so weird to me because who even made that up? That was made up to make someone feel better,
Yeah,
honestly.
100%. 100%. But like I want to like research like origins to those stories because that is honestly like so much fun.
Yeah, that would be
Um,
fun, and then we can share stories.
oh yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
That could be
100%.
kind of like our Halloween podcast. Oh, write that down.
Okay, okay. I love that.
Sorry, we're just, like, conspiring on right now.
Superstitions for wedding days. Not me voice texting.
So we actually, like, kinda planned on doing, like, a fun Halloween episode, like, we're gonna, like, try and get together and record actual video and dress up, so we have to kinda think of, like, who we wanna be, and I suggest that we be Cosmo and Wanda, or
No.
Dumb and Dumber.
No. I think we should dress up as Great Gatsby characters. Or I don't know. I don't know. What is it?
We should dress up as videographers.
Absolutely not. No.
They're so scary.
No, I literally am not doing that. Okay, so after first looks, oh, also for first looks, definitely think about if you want to do like a tap on the shoulder or if you want to do like 1, 2, 3 turn around. Because some people don't really know and like they're like, "Oh, I'd want to go and tap." And it sometimes creates a, like a more intimate moment and sometimes like 1, 2, 3 turn around you just kind of have to it's something you think about before for both bride and photographer. But then typically I would say most times after first look we go straight into bride and groom portraits.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I literally that's my favorite part of wedding day is just seeing them in love and like just all like and like so happy because one good thing about being a wedding photographer is you just get to see them on the happiest like day of their life besides like having a baby and stuff but it's like it's so rewarding.
Yeah, I love, like, it kind of, like, restores my faith in humanity a little bit to see so many people getting married and falling in love and celebrating God's gift of marriage. Like, it's just so nice to see that, see people actually in love and celebrating. It's rewarding and it's nice, and I love my job.
I love it so much. Definitely for brides that are listening, please share like if you want specific photos. Like definitely share before wedding day. So if it's like a veil underneath a veil shot or twirling or like a kissing dip shot, like anything that's super specific or a recreation photo, please like talk to your photographer. Like although no shot is 100% guaranteed, it's better to like voice it and say like this is what I want because you're paying us money to get exactly what you want and more. So I'm just saying like don't be afraid, just voice up, make a little Pinterest board, send it to your photographer. If you have a shot list, put it in your shot list so that we don't forget it, you don't forget it, and everybody's happy.
Right, and I would say the thing with, like, the Pinterest board, just make sure that you're in the understanding that w we might not get all of those, but the fact that you gave us, like, kind of an idea of what you want, we're gonna take it to the next level, and you're gonna love it, so but just, like, keep in mind that you may not just have that mindset of, "Well, I would really like this, but if we don't get it, it's fine." You know what I mean?
Oh,
So you're not,
100%.
like, disappointed, but if you, like, really want something, please, please voice that, because we're not gonna bite you, so
I had a bride one time, like, not to be negative, but, like, didn't give me a shot list, and then, like, there was a there was a shot that she wanted of her dad, but her dad was, like, disabled, and we weren't able to get the shot that she wanted, that she didn't tell me about until the day of, and she was so upset, and I was like, "Listen, like, it's not necessarily my fault, and it's not necessarily your fault, it's just something that we didn't talk about because, like, 1, the shot's not always guaranteed, and I list that in my contract just because there's a lot of circumstances that are out of your hands, but not only that, but you didn't, like, tell me, like, if you don't discuss it, then it's, like, not gonna happen, like, we're forgetful people, we're forgetful creatures, like, it's not necessarily anyone's specific fault, but it's just something to keep in mind and be preventative for, like, something that you potentially could miss out on your wedding day."
alright, next up on our list is a bridal party photos, and this is you can have fun with these ones too because this is where you get the groomsmen and the bridesmaids and the couple all together to take pictures, and we have fun with these. We do.
We do the tunnel shots, the walking shots, there's some fun blurry shots, them walking in a circle around, like, the bride and groom,
The bear
checking out.
hug.
Oh, yeah, the bear hug. We love a good bear hug. But I think that honestly, we probably need to, like, post a video to a YouTube channel one day of, like a fake bridal party to like kind of walk with them step by step of like different poses because I feel like that's like I really want good shots. How do I make this better so they can tell their photographers and their photographers that are just like starting out don't really know what to expect and like they don't know what poses to do. It's their first wedding. Like I learned through watching other people. So I think that honestly we
Right.
need to do that one day.
I think that this is, like, one of, like, the second most with family photos being the first, like, the most intimidating part because it's just a big group, and if
Mhm.
you've never done, like, huge, like, families before, like, think of it like that, like, this is, like, a 10-person, maybe 13 people at
Mhm.
best, and it's just hard. It's a lot of, you kinda have to learn how to be assertive with them because not everybody has different personalities. Not everybody's gonna listen. People are gonna be drunk, and some people are
Yes.
just not gonna listen to you, and you kinda have to just set that boundary and be like, "Listen, I'm trying to do my job. We can either be here for 5 minutes or 30." So, you
Mhm.
just kinda have to, be assertive with that because it's just a big group, um, and, don't be afraid to yell, really.
Yeah, literally. I mean, for bride and groom, like, they need to chill out. The photographer really needs to take over because I feel like the bride and groom don't need to worry about a thing. And sometimes, like, if the photographer isn't like very authoritative or they're not very like bossy, they're not going to get anything done because the bridal party is just going to be taking over. So, like, we could literally do an entire episode on like how to pose bridal parties and how to pose bride and grooms and like how to efficiently and effectively pose them because that's like a
But
lot.
I will say that it really does depend on, um, the group of people that you work with because I've had great bridal parties that listen, and I've had unruly ones. So, it's just you kinda have to know your audience, and you have to know boundaries of when you can and when you can't. But yeah, bridal party is probably, like, the second most intimidating for me, I would say. We'll get into the first, here in a minute, but
Oh yeah. Okay,
so
what's next?
ceremony.
Okay, so ceremony is literally it is like the most important part of the entire day. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like this is the moment that everything could go wrong, but it's not going to. It's think positive. But there's so many things. First things first, your officiant is going to be kind of like the person running the show. So you need to have like strict rules with him. Like I'm talking he needs to be announcing "Everyone please rise" when the bride is walking down the aisle. He needs to be getting out of the way whenever the first kiss happens. Like, he needs to make an announcement for unplugged ceremonies. He needs to make an announcement for no flash photography. He needs to make an announcement for um whenever the bride and groom, after they kiss, like, now introducing the bride and the groom. But there's just a lot of things that officiant will need to do, and the first thing is saying, "Everyone now please rise." The bride walks down the aisle. Brides, please, please, please talk to your mans about holding hands. Like, please, like, talk beforehand. Hey, we're gonna hold hands at the altar, or no, we're just gonna hold our own hands and we're gonna fidget with our hands and rings and stuff. But some people don't talk about it. But if you kind of want to, like, have it be more structured, tell your officiant to say, now you can join hands after you put your bouquet to your maid of honor. So yeah, please talk about that with your spouse.
And I just wanna get into the first kiss. Um, so my advice for the first kiss would be please, please rehearse how you wanna kiss. Because if you're going up around his neck and he's also going up, that's gonna look weird. So I
Hmm.
would just rehearse that. Like, don't try and make it look, like, so staged. Because I personally do not like the staged kisses where, like, he dips her.
I
That
love
to
it.
me is just a little I'm not a fan.
I love it so much.
You can do one of those, like, you can do one of those down the aisle. I think for the first kiss at the altar, like, that's, like, a pure, like, unrehearsed, I'm putting that in quotes, like, kiss because it's just, like, real or whatever. But please just, like, kind of, like, loosely rehearse it so that you don't.
Who should record themselves kissing to see what would look the best for them. I think that they should practice, like, if the groom should grab the girl's face, or if the girl wants to grab the guy's face, or if they want to do a dip, they don't want to do a dip, they want to just do a peck, or if they want to do, like, multiple kisses. Record it yourself. It's not
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, I would record yourself or post it on TikTok and go viral and get other people's opinions on it.
Yes, for sure.
But,
That's a good idea.
but yeah, I would rehearse it, and then for our sake, this is just us photographers being selfish. Um, I would probably once you kiss, go ahead and kiss again just so that we make sure that we get the photos. Like, we're not.
Like, cheer louder.
Right, yeah. And especially if you have, like, a videographer, they like to have different angles of things sometimes. So, like, if you do a second kiss, like, there can be, like, different angles of you kissing, which I think is super cute. But I would do 2 kisses at the altar, and then if you want, you when you come down the aisle, you can do another kiss, and it's just so cute.
It does sound like you. Oh, I totally forgot. Make sure you're officiant. One, before you guys kiss, if you can tell your officiant for everyone to please rise. This looks so much better when everybody's standing and everybody's, like, can turn around as they're standing up whenever you guys are walking back down the aisle. It just looks more, it looks better, it looks more in unison. Everyone knows what to do. Everyone needs instruction. Like, throughout this whole day, need instruction in order to get anything done. So tell your officiant, "Hey, everyone may please rise." He moves out of the way. He moves his mic out of the way or whatever he needs to, and then he goes, "You may now kiss your bride," and then you guys kiss. And then after you guys kiss, when you're walking back down the aisle, please talk about if you guys want to kiss back down the aisle or not. Because sometimes photographers are like, "Hey, stop and kiss," and they're like, "No, no, no, we don't want it." So it's just something that you need to think about and you need to talk to your photographer about.
So true. But if you're
Yeah.
not gonna do a kiss down the aisle, I would do something fun like, be like, "Woohoo!" Like, with your bouquet. Oh, that's another thing, do not forget to grab your flowers from your maid of honor. Or, I mean, if you do forget, like, it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, it'll be fine, but, like, if you want it, just don't forget.
I also totally forgot, but brides and photographers tell the bridesmaids to look up and smile when they're walking down the aisle because we get shots of them looking at their feet all the time. And I just want a good photo for y'all.
Oh
Like
my
I
god.
please, like
Yes.
please look up and smile. Cheese, look so happy.
Please tell your bridesmaids please tell your bridesmaids to not have RBF. Please tell them to smile. Because sometimes I get pictures of them mean mugging, and I don't even think they're meaning to.
No, they're not. They're just so focused on not tripping down the aisle. But yeah, please talk to your maid of honor about fluffing your dress, taking your flowers, making sure you're all right, and especially if you do like like the nodding at the cross or like you know what I mean, like all of that to make sure to re-fluff your dress so that you look all put together, all nice. You get good photos. You can sleep at night without thinking about it. Um, but make sure they do it like the second you get at the altar, not as you're kissing. Because like, yes, I had a bridesmaid Ma- yes, I had a bridesmaid, maid of honor, fix the veil as they were kissing. And yes, the bride was pissed. But I figured out a way to like edit them out, crop it. It was totally fine, but the bride was so upset because she thought I couldn't fix it and she got really in her head, got really mad at the bridesmaid, was really pissed after the ceremony. I don't think you were there for that wedding, but it was
Yeah, I
like
was.
you were there for that wedding. Oh, you so were. But yeah, it was kind of depressing. It was really sad, but definitely just learn from that mistake. Please talk to your bridesmaids.
And I also feel like, the maid of honor kind of feels like it's awkward to fluff the dress, and no one's thinking that. Like, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like, I feel like they get nervous to, like, go in front of everyone and just go, like, and fluff the dress once you get up there, but no one really thinks that. No one cares about you. I'm like, I'm sorry, but no one no one really cares about you. They're more focused on the couple. So I mean, it's not awkward if you run up there and fix the dress. Like even if you see something like mid ceremony, fix it before they kiss. Like
Or,
that's
like, look at the photographer periodically to make sure that there's no issues with the dress or with the bouquet or, like, something wrong at all. Because sometimes I need to get their attention, like, the bridesmaids' attention, and I can't get their attention, and so I'm like, "Psst, psst, psst, there's a bug in her dress, and it's about to kill her," or so like, something so just, like, periodically look at your photographer and see if they need your help because they might.
well, I also find it really helpful if they do like a prayer. Like that's when I go
Mm,
for it. Like I
mm,
just go and fix it and I go and fix everything and I move people that I've had one of the weddings that I did, I had the ring bearer. He was like literally standing in front of the groom and they did a prayer and I just kindly moved him to the side and I said, "Please stay here." So,
mm.
do a prayer if you want people to fix things.
Yes, please, because, like, sometimes you need to, like, whisper things to people, sometimes you need to take si like and it's a really good time for photographers to get really, really close shots without bothering anybody, so definitely, like, pray. Like, pray in general, but, like, pray at the altar, please. Multiple prayers even. We
You
love
know,
multiple prayers.
yeah, you know what's so fun that I saw at this wedding that I was at this past weekend that they did? They did a family prayer, and so they invited the family to come up, and pray with the couple. I thought that was really cute, so if you wanna do something like that, I really suggest it. I think it's very, very sweet, so
If you like your family, if you don't, then it's okay.
if you don't, just disregard that, but
Yeah, for real. Some people beef. But, I'm trying to think, is there any other things you wanted to add for ceremony before we go to the next one?
For photographers, I would say, please set up a game plan for the ceremony.
Mm,
Me and Haley kinda have it figured out now for what we do. Like, it depends on the wedding day, but normally, I get the bride walking down so that if I don't get it, then it's not my fault. It's not Haley's fault or whatever.
no, okay, whatever. I just think that, yes, it's all about the bride, but the bride wants it to be about the groom, and I like control, so I like to get the groom's reaction because in my eyes, it's more important to get the groom's reaction for the bride, but the bride I don't know, they're both important, but in
Right,
my
and
opinion, this works
right,
better.
and I think the opposite. So it works. So, no, I was just joking about, like, if I don't get it, it's not her fault, um, But technically, theoretically, probably.
Whatever. I don't like you anymore. Find your replacement. Just kidding. I could never replace you ever.
Yeah, how dare you even say
Irreplaceable.
that? How dare you even say that? We are beefing today. Okay, can we talk about how you lost your phone?
Okay, y'all. Okay, I just moved in. We've been deep cleaning. Olivia's been texting me, "Hey, do you want to do the pod? Do you want to do the pod? We should be doing the pod. I have to get up early." And I just was looking for my phone. Like, I was just looking for my phone. Like, I have this little tile thing, which is basically like you click a button on your keys and it locates your phone. And if on my phone I can locate my keys because I'm chronic I lose my keys girl and I lose my phone girl. So Olivia was literally looking at my location. I was like my location, and I was literally outside, and I did not know this. And for hours, I did not know where my phone was.
I was so confused. I almost texted Evan and I was like, "Is Hailey like outside? Like she's gonna get a heat stroke."
Is she okay? Like I was literally dumping a couch in the dumpster outside because you're legit renovating, and I just forgot about it. So
That is the funniest thing ever. I texted Hailey. I called her. I FaceTimed her like twice. I called her like twice, and I texted her and I was like, "I cannot believe you're ignoring me."
I wasn't ignoring you. I'm sorry. Ah. Literally.
But that was just really funny. That made me laugh because for a second there, I was like, "We're beefing," and now I'm mad. But then when you told me that, I was like, "Okay, I can't really be mad at her."
I lost my phone, bro. Like I'm sorry.
All right. Well, we need to talk about the demon that is family photos.
The elephant that is in the room is family photos, people. You could skip this if you wanted to. No one's gonna hurt you. Maybe Auntie Nana or whatever the family member's name you have is that is insane. Auntie Karen, but I literally it's like the devil. I hate doing family photos. Nobody listens. So please, please, please have a shot list for every single family member so that the second that family photos start, I can say, Mom, Dad, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, siblings. Like I'm talking specifics. Auntie Kay, Auntie Rosa, cousin Mur, I don't know, Uncle Sal, like anyone that you want. And then you tell them, hey, you're gonna be in the family photos. And
Were
then
you were you
yes,
naming
bracket
off
members. Uncle Sal, Uncle Mur, Uncle Joe, all of them
Oh my
say, I do
gosh.
don't want, yeah, Rip
I
Joe.
didn't know that you had, famous family members.
I wish I did. I actually kind of, but like that's it's
Okay,
not pod.
anyways,
Anyways,
that's a story for another day. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna take the credit for this. I think I was the first one to do a family, like, shot list, and Haley was like, "I just like to kinda wing it," and I was like, "Girl, no, not me." I
yeah,
said, "Not me, girl.
I
I
learned
am not
real
the
quick.
one." Yeah.
I learned
Well,
so quick.
I started doing it after, I forgot a certain picture at a wedding, and so just, like, kind of, like, learn from that. So I do not do a wedding without a family shot list.
Family shot list and then like a main shot list. Like if there's a specific photo that you want of like some people put pictures on their bouquet, like of like past loved ones and stuff. Like if you want specific shots that you do not want us to forget, please put it in the shot list. But more importantly, for family photos in this situation, get get the shot list.
I would also say, and I know photographers really appreciate this, but please let us know if anyone has any sort of disability because
Mm,
that's really helpful. Like, if someone is hearing impaired and we are yelling at them, like, that just looks bad on us because we didn't know.
yeah.
So, if someone just has, like, some sort of, disability or they can't walk very well, just let us know. And also, if there's any beef in the family.
Yes, family drama, please tell us because we don't want your separated parents squawking at us that we put them next to each other when they like got cheated on and they're pissed. So please just be mindful of that.
Yeah, any information that you think is too much, it isn't.
Like,
So, tell us.
tell. Tell us, we are the gatekeepers. We will not let it affect the day, but just please tell us so we can be mindful.
Because the last thing I want is to get red in the face and be like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't know."
Yep.
So
It's happened several times. I'm like, oh, how long have y'all been married? We've been divorced for 8 years. Thank you. Okay, got it. Thank you. Have a great day. Oh, smile for a photo. We're actually divorced. We'd rather not. Okay, all right, cool.
okay.
Literally, a whole podcast can be awkward situations that have happened at photo shoots, aka weddings.
There
Name
have been
photos.
so many. Thinking
I'm
off the top of my head,
I promise
probably
you.
that time when you
I
that
promise
was a
you. I
good one.
promise you.
No, I'm thinking about the time that you tripped up the stairs.
Oh my god, y'all. In front of 100+ people. I ate dirt. I ate dirt. I ate it. I ate it.
And what was so funny about that is there was, like, you ran up the stairs because you had to pee so bad, and there
I
was a
literally
guy
screamed, "I have to pee, I'm sorry!"
and there was a guy standing at the end of the stairs with his wife, and you tripped, and I looked up at him like I was in the office, and he said, "You don't know her, do you?" And I said, "Nope."
Oh, my shoe was untied. I had to pee. I was wearing an outfit, a romper, so I couldn't pee. I almost peed myself. It was terrible. We're not going to talk about it. Disregard that.
We should just start wearing diapers.
Honestly, for wedding days, that would save me so much time. Like, I'm not even opposed to that. So, yeah. The rest of
Okay.
the timeline's pretty easy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the hard part is over, y'all can party hardy, but definitely for, the next thing on the list would be grand entrance slash, like, introductions of Mr. and Mrs. Um, Definitely discuss with your bridal party whether or not you want them to do a grand entrance with you or not, or if you wanna do something fun with them, if you wanna do, like, a tunnel, everyone dancing, um, just talk about that beforehand, have everyone have tools and, like, fun scooters. I've seen money guns. I've seen it all. So, confetti, that was a good one. That was a fun one. So just talk
That
about
was
that with
fun.
your family.
But confetti is also kinda controversial at the moment, so, like, don't do confetti if you're outside, but do confetti if you're
There's
inside.
biodegradable. There's biodegradable. I don't wanna hear it.
Yeah, but people, just we won't get into it. I just wanna, like, actually do a little disclaimer. This timeline is, like, for, like, if you're gonna do a first look, so if you're not gonna do a first look, all of the pictures would be taken after family photos. So
Yeah.
just kinda in your brain, like, I'm probably gonna post this timeline to, our podcast Instagram, so just, like, kind of if you're a photographer, like, the bridal party photos and the Mr. and Mrs. photos would be taken after family photos. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind.
Yeah, for sure. Like, or even, like, everything would be the same. So, like, getting ready, bridal portraits, first looks, groomsmen portraits, and then you would do ceremony. So, like, you could have more time during the evening to do everything rather than during the day, or, like, you guys can get ready. You can kind of focus on more of getting ready photos rather than the rest during the, like, the morning part, and then everything would just be shifted around. So you can just honestly, hopefully you're taking notes this whole episode and you could just, like, kind of switch things around, or maybe even we'll do a podcast for, like, what timeline to get for a non-first look versus a first look, and we might even, like, post just some, like, some pictures. But yeah.
Let's talk about dinner.
Oh, girl. Feed your vendors, feed your photographers and videographers first, because that's the only time we're gonna have a break. It's the only time we're gonna be able to eat. And we want to be able to finish at the same time the bride and groom does. So the second the bride and groom is ready to mingle, we can go ahead and take pictures with them or of them. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't know. Sometimes photographers do selfies with all of their bride and grooms. But feed your vendors first. I mean, maybe not like the people feeding us, maybe them last, but feed your photographers, please. Have a great day. Thank you.
Yeah,
Mic drop.
I mean, dinner is pretty self-explanatory. Just
Oh,
eat.
definitely have a designated person to pray if you're gonna have someone pray, because sometimes people are like, I didn't know I was praying, and then they're really awkward, so they can kind of, like, mentally prepare beforehand. Definitely just pick a designated person, or unless you have, like, a pastor or a, like, spokesperson, whatever, just make sure you tell them. But after dinner, I would say more times often than not, I guess here lately people have been doing the what's it called? The first dances after dinner. But if you are self-conscious and like you feel like you're going to be bloated after dinner, do first dances right when the grand entrance happens. But yeah,
Yeah. I normally like they do their like all the weddings that I've been to recently, they've done their first dances as soon as I walk in. But that's just
mine are the
I guess
opposite.
that's just like personal preference.
Yeah, it's depending on if you do a first look or not, because if you don't do a first look and it's a traditional timeline, by the time you're done doing all the photos, you are starving and you want to eat dinner. So I would say that like if you're doing a first look, definitely you can go do dinner like immediately or you can wait, it doesn't matter. But if you are waiting to do all the photos, I would suggest doing the dinner first and then the dances, just so your guests aren't starving and y'all aren't starving and grumpy. But it's really personal preference.
I would also say if you're not doing a first look and you're doing all the photos after the ceremony, please just make sure that I know that it's not about your guests, but please take into consideration how long they're going to be waiting for you. And make sure that there's water and food,
Snacks
like
maybe.
hors d'oeuvres or something like that. And please make sure they're inside. We've
Mhm.
had so many like cocktail hours that are not inside and they're outside, and then they don't open the reception. What?
And then everyone's watching us.
Right, and then everyone's watching us, and the guests get hot, and they get grumpy, and they get just ew. So just make sure that your guests are taken care of so that you don't that's the last thing you have to worry about, because you don't wanna have to worry about your guests having a good time.
There has been at least 3 weddings that I've been to where guests have come up to me, asked when food was gonna be ready, and if I could hurry photos up. So,
Like,
like,
no.
even if you have a charcuterie board, like a charcuterie board and some alcohol, some M&Ms, I don't care. Like, something maybe you rent a little popsicle pop-up, like, just something for them to do so they're not worried about what's it called? But usually if it's, like, the ceremony, then family photos, you can just have the bar open cocktail hour, and then immediately 30 minutes after family photos, after the introduction, you guys can just hop into food and no complaints.
Right, or I was gonna say, like, I've seen people do, like, they go into this reception and they go ahead and get their food so that they're not waiting on the bride and groom to start eating. I actually kinda like that.
I don't know. For photographers, it's not nice because we don't have a second to debrief. I feel like dinner is
Well,
time to debrief, but and also I think that it's special whenever everyone gets to break bread together. That's just personal preference, totally. Like I like the fact that we pray together, we eat together, we finish together, and we start dancing together.
it also kinda depends on if the bride and groom want to eat dinner with their guests, because
Mhm.
the last wedding that I was at, they didn't want to, they wanted to eat dinner by themselves.
I would understand that. Like if you didn't want to be bothered with people coming up to you as you're eating, yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that. It's literally personal preference, but dances, sometimes people don't want to dance with their parents and that's totally okay. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. There's no rules to weddings. You can do whatever you want. There's no set of rules. Screw the superstitions. You can do what you want. If you want to do one with your mom instead of your dad, if you want to do one with your dad instead of your mom, whether or not you're a groom or a bride listening to this, you do whatever you want. Then the party starts.
Yeah, with the I was just looking at the timeline and it said dance floor opens, and that reminded me, like, if you like, make sure you have a DJ,
Yes.
please.
Or a bumpin' playlist.
Yes. Or, like, if you don't wanna hire a DJ, designate a cool uncle
Mhm.
to do it, because, like, I mean, it doesn't need to be, like, all scattered and then you don't have, like, good music or whatever, but if you do have a DJ, make sure that they announce that the dance floor is open or else no one will dance, and then me and Haley would have to be the first ones to teach you how to Dougie, so
People lately have been doing, like, first dances, and then after first dance, they do, like, a generation dance where, like, the if you've been married for 12 hours or more, or an hour or more, go and start dancing. And then people will do, if you've been married for a year or more, continue dancing, everyone else sit down. And that gets people on the dance floor. There's a bunch of fun ways, but this is like an overall for wedding day. If you don't have a wedding coordinator, hire someone. Doesn't have to be like someone you pay, just like a very authoritative friend, a very authoritative family member, someone that you can tell to help run the day go smooth, so no one has to go to the bride for issues. Everyone can go to the coordinator or the person of authority just to get things done, go make things go smoothly. If there's any issues, they have everything. So that's my tip. And then after dance floor opens, actually, is there anything that you want to add?
Well, I'm like the most premium DJ.
Oh my
So,
god,
some
literally.
tips. I literally have a blog on my website of the best dance songs. So if you can use that to your advantage. But the number one song to get people out on the dance floor is probably like a Cupid shuffle. If you don't want to do a line dance, that's totally fine. If you're like not that white, you don't have to do line dances.
I'm not white and I will still do it.
Baby, you are white.
Baby, I'm not white.
Baby, you
Ancestry
are
says
white.
Ancestry says
White.
otherwise.
No, babe, no. Your race is white, your ethnicity is Hispanic.
No, absolutely no. Actually, maybe like a little part of me is white. Like, but it's not even white, it's Scottish. So,
That's
anywho,
white. That's white.
hardly.
Um, your race is white. I don't know why you're arguing with me. Like, you're like Shay White. You are.
No, absolutely not. Whatever. I'm offended that you say white people music. It's not.
No, I'm just saying, you know,
I'm
I
just picking
I
on you.
I
That's
get down I get down to the Cupid Shuffle. I know a lot of photographers that are anti Cupid Shuffle, and I would like to say that I am not one of those photographers. I will get down on the dance floor. Like I said in the first episode, I do not care what is playing, and I don't care if you think I'm unprofessional. I want to have fun.
the only song I refuse to dance to.
Oh, don't say it. Oh, do not say it. Are you gonna say the church
Church
clap?
clap, yes. I refuse. It's like one of those things that I despise. I literally can't.
And we differ because I love the church clap.
She wasn't raised on the church clap. Hailey was.
No, you're right. I wasn't. I've never been to VBS or anything like that, so I don't like quite understand like how the church clap has affected you mentally, but
Yeah, we're just pew. Anyways, we can have fun on the dance floor. I love a good dance party. Um I would also suggest doing a private last dance to get everyone outside, to get everyone moving. So if you have a second shooter, then typically the second shooter will go ahead, or the coordinator go ahead, get all the guests ready outside, sparklers lit, confetti in hand, ready for the bride and groom to come out. And the bride and groom, like at the same time, is just, they don't have to worry about a thing. They're just sitting there dancing, all vendors out. Photographer takes a few photos and then photographer leaves and gives the bride and groom like just a minute together before the wedding day is over. Are you gonna
yeah.
say anything?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say please say something. I feel like I talked a lot this episode. So
You did. It's okay. I'm just kidding, Haley. I don't No, we talked the same amount.
we did, this is a podcast where we do talk. So
Yeah. I just wanted to point out like last week's audio difficulties, like that will never happen again, and I'm truly ashamed.
it was your fault. You
It
told
was
me to wear
not.
headphones. You told me to wear
It
headphones.
will n- do not blame me.
Yep.
Do not blame me.
I'm kidding, it was mine.
No.
I should have not listened to you.
Well,
I'm
I was like there was just like a little bit of echo in the first episode. I was like, let's just wear headphones so that, we don't get the echo. And then Missy decides to put in her AirPods.
whatever, I don't like you.
Anyways.
I will say we should ask each other some very important questions. And I think if you were an animal, what would you be? If you don't answer the way I hope you will, I'm gonna be so pissed.
A raccoon.
Ask me.
What animal would you be?
A fox. Have you heard them?
Mm, yeah, they're loud and they're annoying.
I love them. They're so happy and they're so fun, but they're so feisty and so mean at the same time.
Do you wanna hear something so funny? Well, it's actually not funny, but the way that I read it, it's funny. So we have like a neighborhood Facebook group, and this guy um, wrote in our Facebook group, and this is how I read it, literally. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Coyote just ran in my front yard and tried to snag my dog.
No!
But
I
the dog is okay. Just want to point that out. But
That's so funny, bro.
um, that's how I read that, and so
That's really
yeah,
funny.
we're keeping Yoshi on a tight leash because we don't want the coyote to snag
The
her.
coyote will, because Yoshi's little.
Yoshi's not. She's actually quite fat.
No, she's a thick, tiny queen.
That's
She's
right.
just a thick queen. She little
That's
but
right.
thick, kind of like us.
That's right.
I'm a little thicker than you, though.
That's totally fine with me by me.
I wish I wasn't, but this is God. God picked me to live this life, and I will live it proudly.
You're just such
Guys,
a
save lives.
come again?
Thick thighs, save lives. You can make that into a little snippet.
I just might.
I think you should. Do you have any important questions for me?
No, but we didn't talk about send-offs.
We didn't. Well, I mean, we kind of briefed.
So I would say that if let's just talk about like the most important send-off tips. Please don't run through the tunnel. Um, just walk. Just walk. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a little, it's like the last thing before you get in your getaway car and you're going off to your extravagant honeymoon. Just like take it all in. Just walk. It's don't run, please.
Can we please quote Taylor Swift? Is there any way we can put Taylor Swift's little in a getaway car
I
driving?
left you in the motel bar, put the money in the bag, and I sold the key. That was the last time you ever saw me driving. Okay, I'll stop.
You didn't sing the part.
What part?
In the getaway car.
Yes, I did.
Are you sure?
I literally just did. Are you deaf?
Sing it again.
I'm in a getaway car. I left you in the motel bar, put the money in the bag, and I stole the key. That was the last time you ever saw me driving the getaway car. We were flying, but we never got far. Don't forget.
Okay, that's the part that I was wanting, and you delivered. Thank you for that. Please
You're
never.
welcome.
I'm kidding. I asked for it, okay? But yeah, send off. Please don't rush. Please don't run. Please walk. Take your time. Do a few twirls. Run through it if you want to. Back it up. Do a little TikTok. You can set up a little TikTok. I mean, you only got 2 minutes, like, considering like most big sparklers do 2 minutes, but like you have fun with it. Like just
That is if they're doing sparklers. Not everyone wants to do sparklers. Come on.
confetti, bubbles, glow sticks, glow wands that like light up. What are some other options?
If you have like an earlier wedding, I really do like rose petal, like flower petals of some
I like that.
sort.
I like that a lot. And they're biodegradable, so.
Or like one of those little streamers, like the white streamers. You could be like, "Woo!"
It'd actually be really fun and really easy to pick up with a broom, so I like
What
that.
are you doing? Are you doing any like kind of send off?
Nah, I think I'll just dance until I'll
Try
dance.
again. Try again. Are you doing any kind of send off?
Yes, I'm doing a send off. What do you think I should do?
Um, um, I don't really know because I really don't understand how that day is gonna go, but
Yeah, one thing at a time.
that's so true.
I'll let you know when I know.
I mean, if you can incorporate like flower petals in some way, that'd be kind of cute.
I dig
Like,
that. I might steal that idea just because like I love sparklers, don't get me wrong, but I do think that it is a little overplayed. And because I'm doing things a little untraditional, a little unconventional, I don't feel like that's as fitting. So Who knows? We might do fireworks. I don't know.
Ooh, yeah.
I like
That'd be
that.
fun.
I do really, really, really like confetti though. Like I love confetti. If I would to pick a favorite send off, it is confetti with flash. Oh, mwah.
You're so controversial.
Why? Do you not like it?
The nature queens are gonna come for you.
A biodegradable confetti, friends. I don't eat meat, so I can say this, but I love the planet and I am for confetti.
But people like I don't know. People argue that nothing is biodegradable. Whatever. I don't
You're
know.
telling me that someone's ashes are not biodegradable.
I just live here. I don't know.
Okay, I was gonna say you're telling me poop's not biodegradable.
I just live here.
If I put poop in my front yard, it's not gonna be there in like 12 days. It's gonna be biodegraded to the ground.
Decompose.
Yes, it's gonna be biodegraded, decomposed into the ground. Compost, like your scrapped food, what do you think happens to that?
Hailey, I don't know. I just work here.
Okay, period.
So, what do we want to recap? Like, do we want to just be like, do a little like recap so that
Oh my
people
god.
are satisfied?
Yes, I think that overall, everyone needs to remember that it's going to go by really, really fast. And you want to enjoy your day as much as you can. You want to be with the people that you love the most frequent that you can. You want to be around people that love and support and are on team you as much as you can, as much as like you love us and like we love you. Like we want you to enjoy your day. So we don't want the whole day to be surrounded by pictures. And I mean, I literally feel like taboo for saying that because I am a photographer, but just definitely do what's in your best interest and what you and your groom want. I mean, I say you and your groom because I don't think that anyone that is a boy that's going to be listening to this, but I do think that
Right.
I
We
do think
do. We do have like a 7% male audience, but I think that's Evan.
okay, yeah, you're right. Right. You know what? Whatever. We're going to have to bring him on the pod one day.
Gosh, he would hate us.
No, he'd love us. He loves us so
I
much.
asked I asked Avery if he wanted to come on the podcast and he was like, "What would we talk about?" And I said, "I don't know."
Men tell all. That's what we talk about.
Mental.
Have you not seen that? Like The Bachelor? That's what they do. Women tell all. Men tell all.
I don't watch The Bachelor cuz I don't give in to those that um
Yeah.
unrealistic. Yeah.
It's realistic.
Girl.
Whatever. Okay.
Oh, let's talk about something very important right now. Did you see that Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson broke up?
Yeah, I don't know if I believe it or not.
Do you think it's just like a PR
I
to
think
cover up that Chloe just had a baby with her cheating husband or cheating ex, whatever?
I think that the reason why people think they're broken up is because she was supporting Yeezy and she's a part owner in Yeezy. Like of course she's going to represent. Plus that's like the father of her child. So obviously she's not going to diss on something that's making her money and is going to hurt her image. Like she's going to continue to be team Kanye.
Right. I don't know what to believe at this point. Like I'm not surprised if they broke up, but at the same time, like I don't know. Everything that has come out about the Kardashians has been true because they always have that one little snitch.
Yeah, I think it's an assistant. I'm kidding.
No, it probably is. It's probably literally Kris Jenner.
Oh, you've been Christ. I love that meme. That's my most favorite meme.
Maybe that's what they're gonna do. Maybe they're gonna like maybe Kim Kardashian is gonna post on TikTok and be like, "Yeah, me and Pete broke up," and then it's gonna be like, "Gitchy, gitchy, yeah, yeah, ta, ta."
That's so funny. If no one knows what we're talking about, please go look up the Chris Jenner. You've been Chris Jennered because it's so funny.
It's literally
Which
hilarious.
I don't know why her name's still Jenner because she's not a Jenner, but that's neither here nor there.
No, she is.
She's
I
not
mean,
married,
she's not married anymore.
so
But
she
I
changed her name.
no, she didn't change her name. No, that's too much
Yeah.
work. That's like too much legal work, and I don't think she has time for that.
I think that she has so much money that she can hire someone else to do it for her.
Right, but I don't think she wanted to.
Oh. Well, I like Chris Jenner. Chris
Yeah,
Kardashian.
I like Chris Kardashian too, but I also wasn't alive when they were married, so
Yeah, me either. I wasn't. I mean, I don't know what year they broke up, but it was before the keeping up. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really keep up with the Kardashians all that much.
Ugh, I love the Kardashians. I love their Hulu show. I love reality TV slash trash TV. I love it. I live for it. I breathe it. I'm so excited to watch The Bachelor tonight. So
Then you really need to listen to the podcast that I listen to daily.
the basement one.
No, the morning toast.
Okay,
That's literally all that they talk about.
okay, yeah. You need to like send it to me because I think it's mad
Did
because
you listen to the Basement Yard? What did you think?
no, I haven't listened to it yet. I've been like
Ah,
so busy. But
well, there's been like two new episodes since they post every Monday or whatever.
my Mac's gonna die, so we have to wrap up.
Freak.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
Really, is the audio for that like? What is like a game that we can play?
Here's what we should do. I think we should t- um tell people what our favorite wedding trend is.
My favorite wedding trend is pearls. Give me all the pearls. I'm a fashion major. Pearl veils, pearl necklaces, pearl rings, earrings, the necklaces where they have pearls going down the back, or champagne towers. Those are the top. I love them. I'm gonna have all of it at my wedding, and I just want to throw up because I love it.
Okay, and what's the one that you dislike?
There is one.
Tell it.
I don't know. I can't remember. There is a trend that I cannot stand, but I cannot remember what it is.
It'll probably come back to you.
Okay.
Um, is there a trend that I just do not like?
Or say the one that you do like, and then we can think about the ones we don't like.
Like I said, I like the flower petals, but most importantly, I like the flower petals like when you're exiting the ceremony
Oh yeah, okay.
more.
Love
Like
that.
I like that. I do also like the pearl veils. I just only like the pearl veils. I'm not too much of a fan of like the all the other stuff.
I like cottagecore, old money, like that type of aesthetic. So like I am here for it.
I like gloves. I think gloves are super
Yeah,
cute.
they're really, really. I think that's timeless. Like I do think that it's one of those that will always look amazing because it just screams high class and screams yes.
Um, a wedding trend that I just personally don't really care for um is, and we've been seeing it a lot recently, and the colorful color palette.
Oh
I
yes. Okay.
hate, hate,
Spring.
hate that. Like with all the
Spring.
bridesmaids having different colored, bright colored dresses, I think that is so ugly. I'm so sorry, but like, no.
It's like the spring, not pastels, but like neon. Like they think that it's every color alive. Like I'm so sorry for there's been a few brides that I've worked with that I actually really thought it worked, but personally, I don't care for it. I don't think it photographs very well, especially with like if there's a super distinct color, it might look different in camera, which might look different with presets, and I just don't care for it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like the bright colors. And another one that I don't like that you said that you like, I just don't like champagne towers because I just think that they're messy.
You're fake.
Sorry.
You're fake. I'm having one, so and you're drinking out of
I
it.
I no, if I do drink out of it, it's gonna be the top one because I just don't want to be sticky. That's the thing about me. I don't like to be sticky.
That's
I
why you don't like them. I'm talking about the overall aesthetic.
Okay, for pictures it's cute, but the fact that, like no, I don't like to be sticky and I don't like it to be gross and just ew.
What even ever. Whatever. I'm
Is
trying
there
to think.
another trend that you just don't like? I feel like we're not that negative.
I would disagree. I think I'm pretty negative, but I just can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Um
Anything that I've been like, oh, this is foul.
Ooh, okay, so I just looked on Google, like, wedding trends for 2023, but there's a thing that says, "What is the wedding color for 2023?" And I kinda wanna see what it is.
What is it? Open it.
Okay, so the wedding colors for 2023 is expected to be lighter shades of blue tones such as porcelain blue, periwinkle.
So the Pantone color of the year this year was like a lavender. So like the way that the color cycle works is like basically, this is getting all technical, but you'd have to look at the graph. But there's like certain shades that will be in season for like a certain amount of years, and then it'll go to like muted tones, and then it'll go to like earth tones, and then it'll go to
Mm-hmm.
like neutrals. So it's like this whole weird cycle. So I think that is just a piggyback off of next year. So
Yeah, so I'm looking at like the wedding trend thing, and in here it literally says mismatched bridesmaids dresses, and I could not be more appalled by something in my whole entire life. It's
I
like
love
different no, it's like different types of patterns and different types of floral patterns. No.
No, I don't like that. I do not like floral dresses, like any season ever. So I don't like whenever it's like solely floral. Like the guests are in florals, the bridesmaids are in florals. Like I'm all about texture. I'm all about different shades, like very monochromatic. But I'm not a fan of floral, so I'm gonna have to stand with that.
Okay, so a new trend that I've been seeing is direct flash reception photos, and I do like that one.
Oh, I love it. I want it. I want it all. I love it so much.
Film is another one that I do like.
There was a TikToker that I followed that said that it was gonna get out of style, but I disagree. I think that it's just gonna become more and more popular.
Yeah, I agree with that. The one thing about mismatched dresses that I actually do like is when all the bridesmaids are in the same like same same color but different fabrics, which is kind of what you're doing.
Hmm.
Like my dress is more like of a satin and someone else's dress may be like a velvet or like different just different textures, but I
Hmm.
also do like when it's different shades of the same color. I
That's
do
what.
like that.
Yeah,
I do like that. I just don't like florals.
I like also like short dresses, long dresses. Like I like different. So I want at least one of my bridesmaids in like a shorter, like tulle type of dress. So hopefully one of my bridesmaids will do that.
Well, tell someone to do it and they'll do it. It's your day.
I think it's Lily that's gonna do it. We talked about it and she loves it, and she also loves anything that's like skin tight. So I'm like, yes, please. She'll be 15. It's fine.
All right. Is that the only wedding trends that we
Yeah, I think we're good to go.
and just like a disclaimer, this is just our opinion. You can do whatever you want on your wedding day. We won't judge. It's your day. Blah 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 blah. Disclaimer.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's like this is just after doing like over 50 something weddings, you learn what you don't like, you learn what you do like, you learn what you don't want to put up with, you learn what you do, and this is all like in our experience, in our whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, period.
So period. All right. Um. All right, Haley. Where can they find you?
They can find me Hailey Hair Photography on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. Anywhere. Hailey Hair Photography. Olivia, where can they find you?
You can find me pretty much everywhere at Olivia Rodriguez Photos, except for Facebook because I'm too stupid to figure out how to change it, and that's Olivia Rodriguez Photography. And also follow the podcast on Instagram, Facebook. Oh, we don't. Oh yeah, we don't have a Facebook for the pod, but YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. We're on Twitter, so follow us. It's just one thing at a time, pod, and I think Twitter is like an abbreviation of our name, so it's not hard to find.
We need to link all this in the show notes.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, yeah, linked all in the show notes, but you can
If
always.
you would read the description of things, you would see that
Literally don't look at the description of anything though. Stay tuned next week for us to do.
camera settings for beginners. That'll be fun.
That'll be really fun.
And we're actually like next week we're filming 2 episodes back to back because we have a wedding the weekend after next. So we're going to do 2, but they're just going to be posted, later. So we're going to do camera settings for beginners, and then after that we're doing a Q&A, which should just be a little bit more fun and laid back. So
Period. I'm so excited.
period. Woohoo.
Well, I hope everyone has an amazing week, and we will see you. I mean, we'll hear you next week, or you'll hear us. But anywho,
Maybe you'll see us. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we might have a little fun. Anywho, I love chatting with you, Olivia, and I love you so much.
I love you so much.
And
Hey,
thank
you
you.
realize that we haven't seen each other in like so long?
I literally want to cry now.
I was just thinking about that, like, I've only seen you, like, through, like, this. I haven't,
Yeah, I
like,
know.
seen
I didn't. I am reminded quite often. Yes.
Anyways, thank you so much for listening to One Thing at a Time podcast where we talk about all things photography, life, and advice. Stay tuned for next week. We love you so much. Thank you so much for listening. You can listen anywhere you can find podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Audible, I think is
Mhm.
where we're at. I don't know. Anywhere that you can find podcasts, even on YouTube. So thank you so much for listening. We had so much fun talking with you guys, and we will see you guys next time.
Right. Bye.
Bye.